What narcissists can't answer. And why this question destroys them. You ever sit in a conversation and walk away feeling like you just got hit by a truck, but you can't even explain why? That's not a coincidence. That's a strategy. See, some people don't communicate. They manipulate. They don't argue to understand. They throw words like smoke, bombs, confuse you, corner you, get you to chase their nonsense while they sit back and play innocent. The narcissists, they're not interested in clarity. They're addicted to control. They walk in with a grin, drop some vague grenade like, "You never care." Or, "Everyone knows you're the problem," and boom, you're off. You're explaining, defending, unraveling. And that's exactly what they want. But what if I told you there's one sentence, just one, that flips the whole game? No yelling, no drama. Just calm, clear surgical power. It's not magic. It's not therapy speak. It's logic. And when you drop it, it lands like a nuke right in the middle of their manipulation circus. What exactly do you mean by that? Simple, right? But devastating. Because now the heat's on them. They wanted fog, you brought a flashlight. They wanted chaos, you dropped a blueprint. Let me show you how that one line tears their entire strategy apart. Brick by lying brick. Firstly, narcissists thrive on chaos, not clarity. You ever notice how vague they are? You never care. Always do this. Everyone says, who, when, what exactly? You ask that, and they flinch. Because that question demands structure, and their whole game is built on fog. Specifics kill their narrative. They're not trying to communicate. They're trying to confuse. Because the moment you're explaining yourself, you're already losing. And that's the whole point. Chaos keeps you spinning. Clarity shuts them down. When you stop reacting and start examining, when you stop defending and start questioning, Azara, you expose the empty shell behind their drama. You shine a light in the dark room they've been operating in. That's when they panic, 'cause they weren't planning on being understood. They were planning on controlling you. Don't chase their smoke. Burn it down. Second, the power question that flips the script. So, they toss you a verbal grenade. You always make everything about you. Most people. They dive right in. No, I don't. What about that time? Stop. You already lost. Because the second you defend, you validate the garbage. But now, picture this: instead of reacting, you lean back, calm, clean, and say, "What exactly do you mean by that?" Boom. Their whole act short circuits. Because now it's their turn. They've got to clarify, justify, bring proof. And they don't have any. Because they weren't looking for a discussion. They were looking for control. Vague is where they operate. Precision is your scalpel. Cut the fog and you cut the power. That one question, it's not just a question. It's a mirror. And they can't stand what's looking back. Third, why they can't handle and what they do instead. Watch what happens next. The twitch. The fake laugh. The armful. They'll stall. They'll stutter. Then they'll pivot into the classics. You know what I mean. Stop twisting things. You're being difficult. Translation. They've got nothing. They were hoping you'd lose your cool. That you'd grab the bait and start spinning. But now you've made them explain their nonsense out loud, and it sounds as dumb as it is. They can't handle that. So they spin. They double back. They make you the problem. But don't blink by it. Just say it again. Slow, clean, lethal. No, really, what do you mean by that? Let the silence do the work. They're sweating now. Fourth, stand still. Stay cool, don't chase the bait. This is the turning point. They'll try every trick in the book. Guilt, gaslight, mockery, maybe even fake tears. Why? Because your calm is killing them. See? That they need your reaction to build their house of lies. Your defensiveness gives them room to maneuver. Your anger gives them ammo. But your stillness, that's a locked vault. They hate that. So you don't flinch. You don't explain. You don't play chess with someone who hides the board. You just hold your line like a sniper, calm, focused, deadly. Every second you stay cool while they scramble, their mask peels back. You didn't yell. You didn't fight. You didn't even raise your voice. And yet, you just flipped the power in the room. That's how it's done. Fifth, control vis. Communication. The game revealed. Let's get this straight. This was never a conversation. It was never meant to be. It's a setup. A hit job dressed in concern. You thought they wanted a resolution. They just wanted your compliance. Narcissists use words the way pickpockets use charm. It's not dialogue. It's distraction. While you're busy defending your intentions, they're pulling the rug out from under your confidence. You always. Everyone thinks. You never listens. Those phrases, they aren't statements, they're hooks. Designed to pull you into the dance. To get you spinning, confused, defeated. But when you pause, when you say, "What do you mean by that?" You're not just asking for clarity. Rather, you're demanding honesty. And honesty is the one thing they don't carry in their toolbox. Now they've got to speak plainly. And that is a game they never trained for. Sixth, say it again, and watch their mask fall off. Now here's where it gets good. You ask it once. Fine. They'll squirm. You ask it twice. Now they're sweating. You ask it the third time. The act cracks. Watch it. You'll see it happen in real time. Their charm drops. Their face tightens. They start hurling nonsense, or worse, they get nasty. That's how you know you hit the nerve, because their words were never meant to be questioned. They wanted you reactive, loud, emotional. Instead, you brought stillness and logic. And logic is lethal in a house built on fiction. They flail, they accuse, they might storm off. Good. You didn't lose the conversation. You just burned down the entire stage they built to trap you on. The real power, refusing to play. Here's where the whole damn thing flips. You don't need to win the argument. You don't need to be right. You don't need them to admit a damn thing. The real win, you didn't play. You saw the trap. You didn't walk in. You stood still. You asked the question. And when they couldn't deliver a straight answer, you let that silence stretch. And that silence did more damage than any shouting match ever could. Power isn't noise. It's composure. It's clarity. It's refusing to carry what isn't yours. You didn't yell. You didn't beg. You didn't flinch. You said, "What do you mean by that?" And then you watched the empire of bullshit collapse. That's the real win. So here's what you've got to remember. You don't out-argue a narcissist. You don't out-shout them. You don't play chess with someone who's flipping the board when they're losing. You stop the game cold. With one question. What do you mean by that? It's not fancy. It's not emotional. It's precise. And that precision cuts deeper than any comeback you'll ever shout across a room. Because once you stop reacting, once you stop explaining yourself like your worth is on trial, you win. Quietly. Fully. Let them spin. Let them squirm. Let them storm off. You don't need closure from a clown. You need clarity for yourself. And if they can't give it, that's your answer. Walk away clean. Because once you use this, you'll see it everywhere. And once you see, you'll never unsee. That's how people take their damn power back. Now if this hit you in the gut, and I hope it did, like, comment, subscribe, and watch the next video. I don't do fluff. I do fire. And if you're ready to walk out of their circus and never go back, then hit play, and let's burn this lie to the ground. You with me?